Hi there, this is Kuya Hawk. For today's video, we're going to talk about the roamers. Roamers are responsible for protecting and defending your allies in the game. They are the ones who help their allies to get stronger and to reach their objectives to lead in the battle against their opponents. I can tell that any hero could be a roamer, but not everyone. Because what it needs to be a roamer is first, crowd control, healing, and stun effects. If your hero doesn't have these abilities, unfortunately, it certainly can't be a roamer. Because if you will, your team might be lost in the game. But if you think that your hero can be a roamer, then I will help you to customize your hero's equipment items so you could use it as a roamer in the game. And I will also give you some ideas on how to be a roamer and what else you could do to help your allies. So without further ado, let's get started. I will choose Lian Pao as an example. He is both a roamer and a clash laner, simply because of his skills that has crowd control effects and deals high damage to its opponent. To customize his equipment items as a roamer, let's modify his items and build a roamer items first. These equipment are called enchanted items that are needed to use as a roamer. It's always up to you which one you prefer to use. I choose Starspring, but you can only use it when one of your allies is near you. You and your ally were both linked together to regenerate both of your mana and HP at the same time, followed by Guardian Aura for additional health and movement speed. It will also gives physical and magical defense to your ally which is near you. Then Boots of Resistance for more resistance against damage. As you can see, I did not completely choose the main equipment for Starspring because I need more defensive items in the early game. It will also help my hero to cope up with enemies and help my ally as well. That's why I prioritize magic and physical defense first. It will also protect my hero against magic and physical damages. You'll see on top, there are only 2 pieces of equipment that are shown, simply because I did not pick the main equipment yet. I only prioritized some main equipment ingredients for the early game. After I picked my priority items, I will now put the main equipment of the first items that I've chosen earlier, and add some late game equipment items to finish my equipment set. Please mind that you must always read the equipment information before you use it, because it may not be suitable for your hero or useless against your opponents. And if there's a coincidence that you are in Clash Lane and your roamer did not use a roamer equipment, you can purchase it and use it. But if you're in a Clash Lane and you want to use a roamer equipment same as what your roamer are using, that equipment is useless. So always use items according to your lane. And in the first place, you choose that lane before the game starts. If you choose roamer in mid lane, sometimes it rarely happens that the system puts you in other lanes. Just ask your teammates if they're willing to exchange lanes to resolve it, and do not play toxic in the game. Then confirm to save the equipment set. Now you have your own roamer set to use in the game. And you can change its name to look for it easily in the options. And you're done. Now as promised, I will give you tips on how to be an effective roamer in the game. Don't go yet. I hope you're still watching. Here we go. I'm using another roamer to show you the whole role of a roamer. First things first, always go to the lanes where you are actually needed. I went to mid lane since I saw our enemy roamer was there too. Or look for some buff invader if there is. Once the coast was clear, go to the farm lane quickly to help your farm lane ally. It's also important to focus on guarding the marksman since its lane gives more gold, and you need to help it to get more stronger, cause marksmen are needed especially at late game. Yes, marksman has high damage, but you need to protect them because they're weak against assassins and clash laner. And do not always chase for the enemies. Your role is to protect your allies. If you think your ally marksmen are in good shape, go back to mid lane since it needs help from you. Mid lane is the nearest lane to farm lane. That's why you need to watch for them too. Then go back to the farm lane until you and your allies destroy the first tower.
An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Remember to always protect your ally at all costs. If you see your jungler killing the tyrant or lord, tell your marksman to help the jungler. But this time, we're obviously winning the game, and I see that all 5 enemies are away from the tyrant, so there's no way for them to steal the overlord or tyrant. If there's a team fight, always look for ally that needs to be healed, or needs more help from you. Try to focus on protecting them. Always focus on protecting your allies because it is a roamer's role, not to have a competition of whichever who makes the most kills in the game. It's toxic. Now you have learned the basics of roamer's role. It's time for you to try it in the game. Roamers is not an easy job in the game, but I'm sure that if you implement these guidelines, you'll become an efficient roamer someday. Again, this is Kuyahawk, and thank you for watching. I'd like to thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more basic and helpful content about the Honor of Kings game. Thank you.